Yeah, how's it going, guys? Holistic Health of Harry. Coming to you. Want to do a live? Actually, it's unusual. I haven't done a live in a long time, right? My laptop. I've been traveling to London, and then this week, a few days ago, my laptop. I spilled distilled water on it, which is really fucked up. My laptop, basically. So I can't type. Which is kind of annoying. Super annoying. So I've had to buy a second-hand laptop, which is going to come next few days. So I can get back on doing Facebook Lives. I'm actually using my dad's phone, which is made into my phone. I'm too lazy to buy new phones. This phone's pretty fucking cool and epic. For me, I'm used to crappy phones, so I can do lives, kind of. Hopefully I can put this onto my YouTube. But yeah, I miss doing lives and talking for a long time about a lot of things. There's been so much on my mind, guys, about health that I've been learning. So much information that I've tried to put out in YouTubes. But yeah, I don't want to get too far behind with knowledge that I want to share to keep you updated in things I'm learning, and keep you aloof with my journey and my story. Everyone's journey matters a lot. Yeah, vitamin D is so fucking powerful. I'm learning a lot about sun. Last year I learned a lot about vitamin D and urine therapy. And one of the top 4 reasons that I'll run through on why I think, why I love vitamin D, is what I learnt last year. That vitamin D. Well, we'll start with that. We'll start with that. Midday sun makes vitamin D, right? Solar noon, UVB. If you're in the UK northern latitudes, you can't make it for half the year. If you're high up, if you're in the USA, past Los Angeles and the 33 parallel, you can't make it for like 4 or 5 months of the year. It's worse for us at very high latitudes. If you're in New York, you can't make it for 6 months of the year. Yeah, it's a long topic, a very long topic. Basically, obviously my skin's brown too, so I need more UVB, I need more vitamin D, I need more solar equator sun than most people, but we're not making enough of it, and I don't believe that I, as a brown person, was designed to live in a UK country, and I won't be living in a UK country for very long because it's not enough vitamin D. Why? Not only is my skin colour wrong for it, why is vitamin D so amazing? Well, number one, and I discovered this last year when I read the books up on it, I did the experiments, because I do urine therapy too, don't I? Well, number one reason why, there's so many reasons here, talk forever. The number one reason why vitamin D is fucking amazing is it increases insulin sensitivity, which is the same way of saying it lowers insulin resistance. What does that mean? It means it kind of stops you getting high, in a simple way, it stops you getting high blood sugar. Basically, it stops diabetes type 2. Basically, it eradicates you from ever getting pre-diabetes type 2. Basically, if you focus on getting vitamin D at the right time, solar noon, go ahead and Google when the sun is highest in the sky for you. It's a bit deceiving because it looks high in the sky at different times. Actually, it's 12 o'clock, 11:55 a.m. in the UK now. It's always changing, so it's worth Googling. Very easy to Google. Google your location, type in solar noon. You'll find when the sun is highest in the sky. Now, if you're going to hack it, go 5-10 minutes before that time, but get outside and stay outside 5-10 minutes after your solar noon time, which changes every single day. If you don't live in the equator, it's always changing. And another hack, go naked, or as close to naked as you can at that point, because the more skin you expose, the more vitamin D you make. Vis-a-vis, the less skin you expose, the less vitamin D you make. So it's kind of not enough, in my opinion. We're in the health community here. It's kind of not enough just to expose your face and to wear clothes, especially now it's getting hot too. It's a bit unacceptable for us to be wearing, let the masses do that and be unhealthy-ish. Don't get me wrong, I don't wear clothes when it's cold either. Oh, they're busy too, but when it's hot, I mean, there's no excuse not to be fucking a little bit naked here. And yeah, that's the hack. So the more skin you expose, the more vitamin D you make. So that's my number one reason. It increases insulin sensitivity, lowers insulin resistance, it lowers blood sugar levels. What it means is that the sugar won't rise too much in the blood, which you don't want, because now the cell receptors, the insulin receptors in the cells are becoming more efficient at pushing the sugar that you've just eaten, whether that be from fruit, good sugars, or even bad sugars, even bad sugars. Don't need to worry about diabetes, bad sugars. You focus on vitamin D. Yeah, so it pushes the sugar into the cells and don't stay into the blood sugar majorly. Now, how does that tie in quickly with urine therapy that I discovered last year, that I read about before, and now it made sense to me? Well, when I'd eaten bad foods before, and I was still eating last meal a day, but at times when I was eating bad foods, high sugar foods, whatever it was, pastries and shit, I do urine therapy afterwards, But I focused on vitamin D. I got out. It was about April, May, June. So with the sun, it was definitely vitamin D time. I was making a lot. I was being kind of naked, I think at the time. At the start of noon for like an hour or so, and I'd go and drink my urine after eating cooked foods and bad foods. And guess what? Normally my urine would taste really horrible and skank and sugary, but it didn't. Why? Because of increased insulin resistance and because of increased insulin sensitivity. So that was my proof. Like, holy shit, urine tastes so much better than if I didn't get outside and be naked at solar noon making all that vitamin D. So that's my fact. That's not just information. That's me. That's an advantage of doing urine therapy, huh? You can test. You won't get high blood sugars. You won't get diabetes type 2. You won't get you won't even be at risk of pre-diabetes if you get out at solar noon and focus on UVB and be a bit naked. If you can't be a bit naked, roll your sleeves up. For fuck's sake, roll your sleeves up at the very least. Because the more skin, I mean, look, I work with everybody here. The more skin you expose, the better. Your skin is like a solar panel for making not just vitamin D, every single fucking hormone under the sun, testosterone, estrogen, oxytocin, beta endorphins, nitric oxide, blah de blah, so many. The more skin you expose the solar panel, the healthier you're gonna be. So it does make a difference if you just roll your sleeves up and have a little bit more arm exposed. Huge difference. If you wear shorts, huge difference to how much vitamin D and all the magical things the sun does. Huge difference. Anyway, that's number one. The reason I fucking love. You'll never get high blood pressure. That's linked in. High blood sugars and diabetes, pre-diabetes is tied in with stress. It's tied in with sympathetic nervous system. It's tied in with fight or flight. It's tied in with anxiety when your blood sugar is high. You'll never get that. That's why you get people that live near the equator and studies have low blood pressure compared to people that live in the northern latitudes at winter time. Yeah, because they can't make vitamin D in the northern latitudes at winter time, and in summer, in the equator and all around it can. It lowers your blood pressure. When your blood pressure is lower, you're less stressed. Trust me, you'd rather have low blood pressure than high blood pressure. Someone asked me recently, had a conversation with someone, might have been Jade in London. Anyway, I was saying, she said she'd rather have high blood pressure and low blood pressure. Actually, it was Jade. And she said, yeah, and I was like, no way, I'd rather have low blood pressure and be trippy and spaced out than high blood pressure. High blood pressure is stress and disease and big fucking trouble, trust me. It's fight or flight, it's awful. If I had to choose between low blood pressure and sunlight gives you low blood pressure, it lowers the blood pressure. Why? Prime reason? Vitamin D. Although, UVB outside of vitamin D does lower blood pressure too. So that's interesting. It has, not just vitamin D, but the UVB outside of vitamin D lowers. That's another story though, I don't want to go too far and wide. So number one. Amazing reason for vitamin D. I'm going to go through my 4 favorites. There's so many things with vitamin D. By the way, my first book on sunlight stargazing, I wrote a lot on vitamin D. I'm going to have to revisit that next year when I write my trilogy piece, Sunlight and Nudism. I'm going to write on vitamin D. I'm going to go much deeper, more information I've learned on vitamin D. Fucking amazing hormone. So yeah, number one, you can say goodbye to anyone ever worrying about diabetes, pre-diabetes, high blood sugars, even if you eat the wrong foods and loads of it. You can say goodbye to that shit if you focus on vitamin D. It's fucking wonderful, and it's amazing. Increases insulin sensitivity, not a little bit, but a lot, and lowers insulin resistance. How easy is that? Well, just sunlight, amazing. Number 2, one of my favourite reasons. Oh my god, this one I've never seen much literature on. This is my experience. Somehow, there's some things seem to upgrade my personality and make me happy quite a bit more than other things. Actually, I'd say this. No, a lot of health areas I do make me happy, but very few things for my health seem to upgrade my personality quite as much as vitamin D. Now, because I do a lot of powerful things. I do fasting, days on end, have done, and I've experienced what it feels like to be inside my body. I'm a very self-aware person. I love upgrading my personality, creating myself, all these things. I'm very self-reflective and honest with myself, and I've honestly never encountered something that's so powerful that shifts my personality. I become more funny, witty, chill, but I become, really, the main ones is I become more funny, and I remember, I've had so many experiences of like, where did that shit come from, Harry? Like, there's epic nights when you've been socializing, your brain's on point. The vitamin D does that to me, I don't know why. And this goes not just from vitamin D from sunlight. I remember when I was taking vitamin D in, before I was into physical health, I took the sprays, the nasal sprays, not laser sprays, the spray in the tongue, but extremely high amount of vitamin D was 10,000 IU of vitamin D in one spray. So there's bottles that you can buy still now that have a vitamin D free calciferol in a spray. I took them before I was into physical health, and I remember spraying them on my tongue, and it made me so happy, and it changed my personality. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm just more funnier than normal. Where's that coming from? And that, I observed then. I've always been a self-reflective person, and even now that I focus on vitamin D, I notice just at odd times in the day, something like just does something to your personality. What happens to my personality applies to your personality. I mean, it doesn't give you something you haven't got. What I'm trying to suggest is vitamin D is one of those things, one of the only things in the health field that I've tried that seems to bring out something in your personality that's deep within you, that's beautiful, and just amplifies what you like or admire about yourself or whatever. I just find it interesting. I know there's a link there that I've just never seen, even with Aged Urine. I've just never seen any other health therapy do it. So maybe science will catch up and say, oh, actually, it does do something to your personality. There's something deep going on there. Is it going to the brain receptors? We know vitamin D is in every cell of the body, and maybe it's going to the brain receptors and it's really impacting the brain in terms of, is that your personality stored in the brain? I have no idea, but I do know it's my second favorite reason. I'm not listing those. It's one of my favourite reasons why vitamin D. It upgrades my personality and I become sharper, wittier and funnier and more silly, which is awesome. And not even my beloved Aged Urine, anything else, even fasting for days on end, ever does that or comes close to that. So, cool. Number 2. Number 3, vitamin D. Vitamin D on your skin, UVB, which creates vitamin D on your skin. As soon as you up your vitamin D levels, what's going on is it ups your levels of sexual hormones. Very powerful. So for men, you want high testosterone and some estrogen. For women, you want high estrogen with some testosterone. Well, studies show, and you feel fucking manly if you're a man, you feel fucking womanly if you're a woman, if you focus on vitamin D. If you focus on vitamin D, you'll feel like, you'll feel, what's the word for it? Divine masculine and divine feminine. You will feel empowered, healthy. I mean, it goes deep because vitamin D increases your testosterone if you're a guy, and testosterone is a happiness, health, and success hormone for a guy. So it motivates you to become more successful, it makes you more happy, and it makes you more healthier. I know these are all independent of each other, but at the same time it works in all areas, so they all correlate. So it makes you more happy, healthy, and successful, and they all interlink. How amazing is that from just sexual hormones? Yeah, that's right. If you just focus as a guy on like semen retention, for example, and really raising your sexual viable sexual energy work, it would just optimizing your testosterone levels. It would do, from semen retention, it would do wonders. Well, vitamin D for a man or woman, the more more skin you expose to UVB sunlight at midday, the more vitamin D you make, the more sexual hormones go fucking crazy. That's why it's really powerful to be kind of naked or as close to naked as you can at the solar noon. Like I said, the hack is 5-10 minutes before and after in the middle of the day. If it's kind of cold, use the hacks available to you. And also, if there's a break in the clouds, there's more UVB than say there's a lot of it. You know, if there's it's a cloudless at like 11 a.m., that's going to maybe mean more UVB vitamin D than say clouds at 12 when it's highest in the sky. So it's a deep topic. The point is, sexual hormones is everything. It's what makes you feel manly. It stops depression, by the way. I don't think people will be depressed and killing themselves. No offense to people, and I've been depressed myself. If you focused on vitamin D, I don't think there's such a thing as depression. It's I remember people calling it a happy hormone. It's very much happy hormone, vitamin D. And it's got a lot of reasons why it's a happy hormone. It really fucking makes you happy. One of the there's so many. One of the reasons why vitamin D makes you happy, because it optimizes your sexual hormone functions. In fact, one of the reasons why people are so miserable nowadays is because they don't have high sexual hormone levels. If they're a guy, they have too much estrogen, not enough testosterone. If they're a woman, they don't have enough estrogen, right? And too much testosterone. It's the imbalance. It's the imbalance the Matrix wants. How do you cure the balance and optimize your sexual hormones as a man, divine, masculine, and feminine, to the correct way? Well, you focus on UVB, vitamin D. So that's number 3. Sexual hormone function. The more skin you expose to the midday sun, UVB, the more testosterone you're making for a man, and the more estrogen you make for women. Oh yeah, by the way, the hack for that, say it's like really cold and you just want to hack and you can't. Yeah, why do you think we talk about yoni and testicles to the midday sun? Any sun, by the way, but the midday sun. What's going on? The hack is this. If you want to really optimize your testosterone levels and you can't be asked for completely naked, which is okay, you're a human being, well, at least expose your yoni testicles, your privates, your genitals to the midday UVB sun, because that's where your testicles, your yoni is where your sexual hormones for man and women are made, and that's direct vitamin D medicine to the that's localized vitamin D medicine. The vitamin D does go around the body, don't get me wrong. So say you just have all your clothes on, you just have your face exposed to midday sun, you'll make vitamin D through the skin here, which goes around the whole body and increases testosterone levels. Yes, for sure, it does. But you can optimize, and science has shown this, I'm not just making this up by the way, just having your yoni testicles exposed to sunlight, guess what? That does increase majorly your testosterone levels, like 200%. I think they did a study with guys in Andrew Moritz book. They did a study where a man had his back and front exposed to midday sun. It made 100% increase in testosterone levels, but then he just had his willy exposed to the midday sun, and it went up 200%. That's a smaller percentage of skin flesh. The willy is much smaller than your front and back, but yet it was more. Why? Because the vitamin D medicine, whilst it is systematic, it does localize from the blood, it goes round and round, it's also mostly localized too. So basically, if you're targeting with vitamin D and UVB the actual place what makes your testosterone, right, then it will maximize big time. This goes for a lot of things. Like you want to optimize your kidney function, vitamin D, expose the back, the small of your back to, do you know what I mean? You spoil your back. You localize the smell. It's a complicated topic. I could talk forever. I don't want to ramble. That's number one. Number three. So to repeat a little bit. Number one, my favorite reason, insulin sensitivity goes up and insulin resistance goes down. You lower your blood pressure, lower your stress. You just wipe out any chance of pre-diabetes or diabetes. It's ridiculous to me people are even worrying about these diseases when you've got solar noon. Even 6 months of the year in the UK, you can focus completely on that shit. It's so fucking easy. So fucking easy. That's my favourite. I love it. Number two, it seems to upgrade your personality. Still waiting for a lot of science on that one. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that experiences like a major shift. And it's the only thing that does to me like a massive shift and shift in my consciousness level and personality from it. I don't know what's going on there. Number three, testosterone and estrogen optimize your sexual hormone levels. Your sexual hormone levels are so fucking key. It's why the masses are so fucking unhealthy. Number four, just the obvious, it improves your muscles, so your muscles get stronger, and also it improves the bone structure. Your bones get rebuilt. It increases the osteoblasts to make your bones, and it also increases your muscle strength. So now you can feel like a stronger man or a stronger woman. You are physically a stronger person when you make vitamin D. Now, the musculoskeletal system is closely interlinked. When you focus on improving your bone structure, vitamin D, everyone knows that, right? Rickets, lack of vitamin D, rickets. And then you focus on vitamin D and it stops rickets. That's at the base level, you know. But then if you really focus on vitamin D and make much more than a little supplement by just being out for 20 minutes naked at solar noon, you can really start working not just on preventing rickets, but really building up strong bones. And because they're so interlinked, musculature and bones, when you improve the bone system, you massively improve the muscle system. But independent of that, the muscles get really fucking strong, which means now you become a stronger person. You've got stronger bones, you've got nice strong bones, you're not going to fall down. By the way, that's why do you think 70, 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds in northern latitudes seem to collapse on the floor, and they walk up the stairs and collapse, and they have walking sticks, and they fall over so easily, and they have to get the ambulance to go and fix them because, you know, they've fallen over at 80 years old. Why do you think that's a problem? It's not normal. It's because they haven't focused on vitamin just one thing. They just don't make enough vitamin D. There's not enough vitamin D in their system. It's obvious. I can go get a blood test on these people that are just ending up on walking sticks with crippled bones and an osteoporosis. What a fucking joke. I mean, I don't mean to deride it and be silly on it, but it is stupid, all these things, when you focus on one thing. It's called solar noon, and it's called vitamin D. Unnecessary for people to be 80, 90 years old walking around on walking sticks and all these things when you focus on just one thing. You build strong bones and build strong muscles, you know. It's kind of sad at the same time, isn't it? The sun protects you, man. But people don't get out in the sun. And that includes old people in residential homes, in care homes, that don't seem to understand these things. And, it's crazy. I'm glad I do. Hopefully I won't end up like this, but if I do, it's my karma, I guess, for being a bit mean and judging people right now. So, yeah, you get strong bones and you get strong muscles and you get a strong body and you prevent osteoporosis, you prevent arthritis, you prevent all this shit. You can exercise for longer now because your muscles are stronger. Your yoga sessions will be great, by the way, when you focus on vitamin D. Fucking fabulous yoga sessions. For real, you'll be much more stretchy and loose. Just, you were designed to thrive. Vitamin D is a thriving hormone. Vitamin D, UVB, is an indicator that, there's lots of sun out from nature, so now you can go and you can really thrive. And that links in with the insulin resistance It's increasing insulin sensitivity, lowering insulin resistance because look, vitamin D is made when there's a lot of sun in the sky and the sun is strong. So then the vitamin D protects you from like overeating. But remember, in the summer, when there's lots of sun, vitamin D, that's when there's a lot of food. In nature, if you think back to the equator, there's a lot of tropical fruits growing. There's abundance. In the winter, in the northern latitudes, and even in the equator, there's less food available, right? Because there's less sunlight. Sunlight is what makes food. Yeah, what makes nature's food. We've got fake food now for sure, but sunlight is an indicator, and a lot of sunlight is an indicator spring, summer, there's a lot of food coming. That's why the vitamin D is linked into it. The creator put to us insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity to say to us, hey, you can eat a lot now, you can eat a lot of nature's fruits or vegetables, even bad foods. You can eat a lot because, look, we've got you covered. We've got you this lowered blood sugar effect, right? Think about it. There's a lot of sun. And that's why people suffer too in the wintertime. There's no vitamin D in the UK, and then people are overeating, and yeah, it's a huge topic. Anyway, that was it. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm glad I can do this live. I'll do some more on how amazing vitamin D is. It really is, and I'll put it in my next book for sure. I fucking love it forever. I mean, I used to think that vitamin D was the wrong focus because the masses used to think about it and talk about it as the only thing in sunlight, and at the time I was learning about red light therapy and thinking, there's not the only thing in sunlight. Sunlight is magical, and don't get me wrong, sunlight is magical, but I've come to realise, like a little circle, actually the masses are right. Vitamin D is huge focus. It's absolutely essential. I'm pretty sure if you took a blood test, and by the way, blood tests are cheap nowadays. I'm going to get one done soon, maybe this year or next year, definitely. Just before the book, next year would be a great idea, but I think this year I'm thinking costs like £100 in the UK. It's not too expensive. You can get your vitamin D checked as well as other factors I want to get checked. I want to get my vitamin D. I know my vitamin D check is high now because I'm focusing on it. I'm naked at solar noon, pretty much naked all the time. And it feels great, but I want proof of how high my vitamin D levels are and how much you can do. It's such a great focus area. I was wrong. Vitamin D, the masses are right about some things. And, one of the things they do know and they should focus on is vitamin D. Do I think supplements quickly are good? Yeah, I think they work. I think they're okay. Definitely in the wintertime, if you live in places like where I do, I think they're great. However, for the winter only. When you got the sun out, choose the sun. Oh, another thing, you can't ever make too much vitamin D. The body, from sun, the body just kicks it out and stops it. So you don't need to worry about too much vitamin D or an overdose or dying from it. So that's another thing that you don't have to worry about at all. It's a fucking magical, guys. It's the reason why I'm going to be leaving the UK the next couple of years for good, because I'm brown, I'm Indian, and I don't make vitamin D in this country for 6 months a year. It's not really something sad, it's just I recognise that I am a being that thrives under sun, and I think it's really stupid if you're a brown or black man to live in northern Europe and to live in even the top of USA. I mean, I'm not judging people, I'm judging myself primarily. I don't think that I know that I don't thrive, my personality and my health. I have to work a bit harder, and I've enjoyed working harder for my health. When I don't, we're in places where, I have to, really, there's no vitamin D for a lot of the year, but every time it comes back, the last 2 years, started a few weeks ago, the end of March, I was just so much in love with it. I'm in love with it right now. I can feel the upgrades in my consciousness from it coming, and now it's going to get stronger to solar noon. For all of us, up to June 20th now, I think, which is solstice, it's going to be really powerful vitamin D. It's fucking, I love it. I love it so much. People just don't have a clue in the masses, how powerful it is. People just think, oh, I need to get vitamin D. You've got to experience it, man. There's a huge shift in consciousness in all of us when we do focus on just that one thing, UVB, vitamin D, and when we don't. When we do the naked thing, kind of at the solar noon, or even not, but we just get as much flesh as possible. It's such a shift. I can't imagine my life without it. We were designed, I believe, to live on the equator, and then we kind of went to the northern latitudes and tried our best with other things, but yeah, it's not the way. It's not the way for me, and it's beautiful. And don't let anyone tell you it's too simple either. There's a lot to come out of vitamin D. I'm buying a book on it. I've already got 2. And I'm going to write more books on just that, vitamin D. It's so fucking amazing. Vitamin D, the hormone, huh? Your own body, endogenous production from sunlight. How special is that? You're a fucking special being. Alright, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, to take away, go and experience it for yourself and focus on, Google your solar noon time where you live. It's 11:55 a.m. I think in the UK right now. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but have a look. Don't be you might think it's the highest of the sky from looks at a certain point, but check it. Make sure you know exactly the time. It shifts a little bit every day, depending on how far you live from the equator. And then get out at that time and try and expose. Like I said, roll your sleeves up. Try and be naked, but if you can't, it's too cold, just roll your sleeves up, roll your knees up, wear some shorts, roll your sleeves, expose much flesh. Cloud gaze at solar noon time. What does that mean? If the clouds are up, look up. That makes a huge difference, by the way, guys, cloud gazing, because that changes the angle at which the UVB hits your face. The UVB will hit your face if you look straight. If you look up, like a cloud gaze, you're going to get more medicine. That goes for... Cloud gaze is another topic. Oh my god, I could talk forever about this stuff. It's amazing. Life is amazing. Cloud gazing. No excuses. Oh, where's my excuses from the chemtrail people? Oh, there's chemtrails in the sky. I can't sun gaze. Yeah, cloud gaze. Very, very exciting. Oh, two, quickly, before I leave, one thing I thought about, people, when they sunbathe at the beach, what are they doing? When you're sunbathing, lying flat, you're receiving, in a way, more medicine from that surface area because you're changing the direction, because sunlight comes from above. If you're standing, the sunlight will still come, but it hits a different point and angle. If you lie on a beach, like say on your sunbed, or if you lie down naked, or whatever, grounded, if you lie down, you change the angle at which the sun hits that thing, so that kind of increases the absorption of the UVB light for vitamin D production, right? And also for any kind of frequency of light, if you lie down, in a way, it also takes away, because it's complicated, it takes away, because if you stand up, you've also got 360, haven't you? You've got to stand up and you're not leaning against a wall. You've got 360 medicine going on. But sometimes I think it's better to localize it and to lie down and then flip back and forth. So maybe lie on your back, get UVB, vitamin D. This is a good tip for people. Lie on your back, get UVB, vitamin D, and then switch it up after 10-15 minutes to your front. Lie in your front and get UVB. And switch it round sides, but make sure your whole body gets a little bit of coverage of that. Because when you lie down, and because the sun's highest in the sky, right, you change the angle and it maximizes the medicine. So if you lie down at solar noontime, you're changing the angle and you're increasing the medicine on that particular area, as opposed to standing up. It's all about direction. The light comes from up above, and the light penetrates everywhere. But if you change the angle, which is why sun gazing, cloud gazing works, when you change the angle at which your most important focus of light looks at the sun or looks at the clouds, you make some massive difference to how much entry that light gets into your eyes. You see, I try and think my version of deep on these topics. Been doing it for quite a while now, so that's just geek knowledge for geeks like yourself that are in love with this shit. It makes sense to me why people sunbed on a beach. It works for UVB, vitamin D, and then you sunbed and you lie in the grass, naked, whatever, and you flip it around. So 10 minutes back, 10 minutes front, 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Flip it around, do the 360 thing, but just change the angles which the medicine works, and you've got a good thing going there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Vitamin D, yeah man, simple but amazing. Hope you got a lot of value from this, and wow, my first live in absolutely ages. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a bunch. I hope you guys are feeling great, and it's a great focus area. Stay healthy and the sun will look after you, right? Sun power. And also, before I leave quickly, the sun is even more powerful now, guys, because now with the coronavirus and the lockdown, you'll notice the skies are getting more pure. I'm sure you've noticed this. The skies are way more purer. The sky has never been clearer. The sun, the chems in the sky, fake chemtrails, and also factory chemtrails and car pollution and plane pollution, it's just never been less than it is right now, wherever you're living. So please make the most of the fact the skies are purer and the Gaia is more powerful. The sun energy is more powerful now than it will ever be. 2020, right now, it's more powerful than it will ever be. How amazing is that? Wow, we have to take advantage of this opportunity. We've been given a gift from nature. The lockdown, the less pollution of cars. Did you know that the city in the sky, the planes, is the third most popular city at any point in the world? Because there's so many planes in the sky at any one moment in time, it's the first busiest city in the world. Wow, there's always so many people in the air, millions and millions. Third biggest at any time, except now, there's the third biggest city in the world is the planes, people traveling on planes. Now, from the third biggest, it's the emptiest city in the world. How cool is that? So much less pollution. Awesome, means more sunlight penetration for us. Go Gaia, go us. Thanks for watching. Peace.